pretty girls. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite.
Like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with and ordering like nonstop, right?
Nah, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
As Diddy's trial approaches,
Interview 1. The biggest names in the music industry are being exposed, revealing the shocking lengths some parents will go for money and fame. This is the disturbing story of how Usher's own mother gave him up, setting in motion a cycle of abuse that continues to plague minors in Hollywood. To this day, questions remain about what really happened to Usher at Diddy's infamous Flavor Camp, and what Diddy was doing to those underage kids. Interview 2. Usher entered the music industry as a young kid under the management of his mother, and soon after, he was signed by L.A. Reid, the same man who would later sign Justin Bieber. But shortly after landing the deal, Usher lost his voice. It was during this
Puffy in that time, or the tunnel. But these are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be.
things
time
aren't
that
looking.
he and his mother crossed paths with Diddy. Diddy offered to have Usher live with him, promising to help revive his career. By then, Diddy already had a reputation that raised serious concerns, making it hard to justify sending a 13-year-old boy to live with him. Yet Usher's mother, focused on the money she could make from her son, agreed, sending Usher to live with Diddy completely unsupervised. Interview 3. Diddy is a sick person, and the things he and others in his sex trafficking ring force women to do were disgusting. These individuals were addicted to power.
Shocked silence fell over a New York courtroom. Explicit images from one of Sean Diddy Combs' so-called freak-offs were
Power, and driven by a desire to humiliate others. Cassie testified that Diddy would sit in control of everything, instructing male escorts on exactly what to do if she said or did anything he didn't like. His reaction was immediate and violent, throwing her around without hesitation. To Diddy, Cassie wasn't a person. She was an object he could use and discard at will. Interview 4. Usher lived with Diddy, and when his debut album was released, Diddy used his industry connections to help him go viral. Allegedly, in return, Usher was expected to remain under Diddy's control and follow whatever instructions he gave. Around this time, long-standing rumors began to circulate that Diddy was allegedly involved with Usher inappropriately, whispers that have persisted for over 2 decades. Sources close to Diddy, including his own security guards, and even statements from Usher in interviews, pointed to suspicious behavior between Diddy and the then 13-year-old. Sadly, Usher was neither the first nor the last young star to be abused by Diddy. Interview 5. There were even reports of an incident involving Diddy that allegedly sent Usher to the hospital. Industry insiders have spoken out, claiming they heard about a young boy living with Diddy who had to be hospitalized following an alleged assault connected to him. Interview 6. By this point, Usher was completely under Diddy's control. In a leaked video from one of Diddy's infamous break-off parties, he is seen hugging Usher and telling Kevin Hart during an interview that he planned to sleep with Usher later. Diddy even reminisced about waking up with Usher during his time at Puffy's Flavor Camp. The question remains, why was Diddy sleeping in the same bed as a 13-year-old Usher? Interviewee 7. Usher reportedly contracted herpes as a result of the abuse he experienced back in 2012. Allegedly, he later transmitted the virus to 2 women and 1 man. As a result of these accusations, Usher was forced to settle the cases privately, paying out over $1 million in settlement fees. Interview 8. Usher has never publicly addressed his sexuality, and whatever his orientation may be is entirely his personal choice. However, what raises eyebrows is the pattern. He seems to be repeatedly linked with men who are either involved in abuse or are victims of it. One such individual, Orlando Brown, has publicly claimed that he had sexual encounters with both Diddy and Usher.
That's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, "Man, you gotta chill. Like, you're just a little bit too intense."
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
On paper, it's
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose. I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship.